we've been keeping under wrap for quite a few months.
This is already done. This is signed. It's a big deal.
This is very new across the world. And when you talk about identity, there's a lot of regulations around that. What we're actually launching is the digital document wallet. It's the Thai ID, it's like my house registration, it's my driving license. Any professional documents will be in that wallet. So the intent is to enable transactions. Things are gonna become more tangible.
A little while since January, since we were last here. What do you think in practical terms has changed since we last sat down together?
Well, now is April, so it's Songkran. It's pretty hot. That's what has changed. It's very hot outside. But so for what we're doing is, I think it's worth saying that we're doing this sort of a pre-recording. I'm sitting in front of one of our press releases, which hopefully is going out like next week. So that's what we've been keeping under wrap for quite a few months.
It's the wet ink.
Yeah, finally.
And that's great news for our community, having a clear understanding of what's coming. Obviously, this is already done. This is signed.
Yes.
Just embargo can sometimes have that restrictive nature to it.
Exactly.
For people outside Thailand, why does that name matter?
So like I said, by the time you see this podcast, there should be a press release out announcing an alliance, a partnership between TKC, Transformational, and ShareRing. Okay, so you guys already know Transformational. That's me. Yeah, you know ShareRing. You don't know who's TKC. So TKC is it's a Thai company. It stands for Turnkey Communication. Who are they and what do they do? Basically, it's a listed company on the Stock Exchange of Thailand. They're very strong. They deliver like infrastructure, IT, tech infrastructure, digital infrastructure for very big projects, government projects, state-owned enterprise, government agencies. Which areas do they cover? They cover the telcos. So all the telcos in Thailand, including the SOEs. They cover ministers and government agencies. Both they work very closely with the Thai government essentially. So that's part of why we have this alliance between us and them. And hopefully what you'll see is like what comes out of this partnership very soon. So we have hopefully a next announcement coming up. I would say hold your breath for another month or two, and you'll understand why we're working very closely with TKC. And actually in the press release, we're alluding to that. One of the projects and the client we're working on is a state-owned enterprise, a large state-owned enterprise.
Why is the infrastructure such an important part of this story?
Just to put that in perspective, so they work with the telcos, so all of them. So we don't have that many telcos, but they work with all of them. Infrastructure, like, when you talk about like tourism, airports and whatnot. So these are the scale of the projects that TKC undertakes, and working with them allows us to work with government agencies and ministries and whatnot, very much in line with national policies, which when it comes to like digital identity, document wallet is very important, right?
All right, so we've talked before about local context, relationships. It's a different game here. But at this stage, where's Transformational but what are they really doing in this story for someone like a TKC?
Okay, I think that's a good question. If you look at the role of the three partners, the three of us, TKC essentially provides like access. We're working like very closely with the ETDA. ETDA stands for Electronic Transaction Digital Agency. So the ETDA is one of the agencies. It's not an agency actually. It's a regulator. It's the regulator for everything that concerns like digital identity, which is our area. It falls under the Ministry of Digital Economy in Thailand. So part of the relationship with TKCs allows us to work with the Ministry of Digital Economy, with the ETDA. So we provide like obviously the connection and the implementation. So on the ground in Thailand, we are responsible also for the implementation, the development and whatnot. And obviously you guys, you provide the technology, right?
Right. Yeah, I'd say it's fair to say that Transformational's not just opening doors for us now. It's actively shaping, well, not only a normal commercial agreement, but with the industry as a whole. It's a big deal. We're no stranger to regulatory frameworks in Australia. Tell me how working with the ETDA is going to help us.
So like I mentioned earlier, the ETDA is the regulator, right? So they are responsible for the framework, the policies, like for the next, like as long as they exist, right? It's their role. So even though like, sharing a platform like ShareRing, you comply to, global regulations and whatnot and standards, you still need to comply with local standards and regulations. Our job in working with the ETDA is to understand like what is the framework of digital identity, digital document wallet, what is it that we need to comply with, what are the standards they're using, so that we make sure that we align with local standards, Thai standards, which is what we've done in the past couple of months. So we work with them very closely, and I'm happy to say that we've ticked all the boxes.
So with the announcement that's going to be coming out of our embargo soon be, what can you tell us about what that entails and what's going to mean for us?
This announcement is not just a partnership announcement, but more, at a more tangible level, what we're actually launching is the digital document wallet. So, and that's why we're working very closely with the ETDA, because before, previously, like the ETDA launched regulations around eKYC, so which is not new news. But the next big thing that Thailand is sort of looking forward to is the digital document wallet. So it's essentially like leveraging your technology and saying that instead of having just like the Thai ID, it's not just that. It's the Thai ID. It's like my house registration. It's my driving license. It's any licenses I have. Any professional documents will be in that wallet. So that's what we're launching with your technology, right? And the idea is that this wallet will connect to partners. And by partners, I mean it can be like government agencies, it can be businesses. So the intent is to enable transactions. Once you have these documents, how do we enable transactions? So that's the end game for us. And by partnering with TKC, so one project that is up and coming, it's the launch of this digital document wallet with one of Thailand's SOE, state-owned enterprises. So that's the big one, because that's why do we want to work with like a state-owned enterprise? And I think for the record, what I want to say about that is, to your community, you guys need to understand that working with state-owned enterprise, it's not like it's not like working with a startup. Like you blink in the blink of an eye and things get done, right? It takes time. There are processes, there's paperwork involved, and unfortunately, that takes time, right? But the benefit of it is, state-owned enterprises. It means that it gives us access to other government agencies, because all the services that you use in your daily lives are all government services. Whether you talk about like, any like ID documents, licenses and whatnot. Well, these are all documents that are issued by the government or by a government agency. So that's why we need to be able to work through and with, a state-owned enterprise. So that's one project that we're launching very soon. And on the other hand, we have a pipeline of other projects that we are, unfortunately, I can't disclose yet. We're also working with TKC on that. That will come later.
I mean, there's no secret who TKC do business with right now, and that's the organic thought that's in the front of everyone's mind, is like, once we've done this one thing, we'll be able to branch out and do all the other things. Is there anything you can talk to, even at a high level, that would tell people the huge opportunity that this is with TKC and what it could potentially bring through the relationships, not only government, but private enterprise as well?
It's challenging to really tell you more at this stage, for two reasons. I want to be transparent about that. One is like, obviously, because we can talk about it with the consent of our partner and clients, and the second point is we don't want to tip out like anyone else about what we're doing right now. I think we fairly ahead of the game
got a bit
right
under
now.
the radar, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I prefer to stay under the radar.
Yeah.
And when we come back to you, it's like, we're launching.
Yeah,
right?
It's ours now.
It's out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer, because I do get excited about the opportunity for the scale, but it's not. And as we get credibility here as well, other businesses are going to be able to find us.
And I think like just we over lunch, what we were discussing is, this space. I mean, even for Thailand, this is very new, right? This is very new. Even across the world, I think that's it's a very new space. And when you talk about like identity, when you talk about documents, there's a lot of there's a lot of regulations around that. So a lot of the people, the businesses that we talk to, it's not like they're not looking to be like a first mover, right? Because there's a lot of regulation involved. It's a lot about security. It's a lot about safety of data, safety of users. These are not projects that they take lightly. No, it's not about, okay, let's launch first, right? It's about, let's launch it right. And I think that's one thing I wanted to explain, that I know that you guys like, I follow the Twitter account. I know everyone is impatient, what's going on, what are the announcements and just bear with us. But I think the approach, the go-to-market approach that we're taking is, one is like, now we're announcing this partnership. Next, we'll announce our first project. And we have a couple of use cases that we pushing forward. So the state-owned enterprise, we're launching it in July, right? I think we can say that. We have 2 use cases that we're looking at, announcing probably around August 2026. So you will see that, now after this partnership announcement, things are going to become more tangible.
Yeah, that's the thing I remind most people who want to troll the idea of what we've achieved here. Is there is a lot of personalities. There is government entities. There is private
regulators.
It's the rules along the way. Yeah. Could not be done without you, as I've said before. But it's all about to drop. Yeah, and the opportunity is massive, and millions of tourists and all the things that are going to be connected to what we're doing here.